Hello, welcome. I'm Lisa Schiro. I'm a breakthrough coach as well as a mental health expert. I get to help people who feel stuck say no to that inner critic and yes to their inner rock star. And you are a rock star. But are you avoiding? Sometimes we like to avoid, right? In fact, what we really know about the brain is we're either going away something or towards something, away from something or towards something. Our brain likes to avoid pain and seek pleasure. Psychology 101, right? I'm going to give you some techniques and other things to maybe think about if you happen to be one of those people who tends to avoid the uncomfortable things. So here we go. Let's talk about it. Man, if there is a topic that I think needs to be out there more, it's all about avoidance. Maybe people are avoiding talking about avoidance. Just having a little bit of fun with that. But truly, there isn't a ton of legitimate information out there about avoidance. It's very interesting to me, but this one thing can hold you back from being successful, from having the conversation that you don't want to have. So we tend to avoid because our brain, again, likes to avoid anything that's uncomfortable. So I'm just going to give you some other ways to kind of think about it. So avoidance really just is a fancy word for sometimes a learned helplessness. Sometimes we have decided that, you know what, if I avoid that thing, then I don't have to feel uncomfortable about it, and that feels good. So I'm just going to continue avoiding that thing. The problem is it can be this huge hurdle between you now and the you that you're supposed to be. You know what I mean? The you that makes you feel like a better version of you. So if that's the case, maybe, just maybe, it's the fact that you're avoiding a difficult conversation. Boy, are we good at that or what? So a lot of times we just would rather not even have the conversation because we know it's going to be uncomfortable. So here's my question to you. What made you decide that you can't stand the discomfort? Because something in you has told you that, oh, I'm just going to avoid it. I don't want to have that conversation with that person, right? Haven't you survived 100% of the things that have already happened to you? Comfortable and uncomfortable? Yes, if you're listening to this and you got a heartbeat, the answer is yes. You have survived 100% of everything that's ever happened to you. You're a survivor. You're way stronger than you think. You're way more resilient than you think. You can stand some discomfort, friend. You can totally stand discomfort because here's what we know about uncomfortable feelings like vulnerability. I know, I've been there. Feeling helpless, feeling angry. Okay, our brain doesn't really like that, but guess what? The good news is this. It can't last for a long time. Eventually, it has to recede so that another emotion can come in. Isn't that an interesting thought? So instead of avoiding, if you need to have a conversation that might be a little difficult in the beginning, have it. The best antidote to avoidance is, drum roll please, action. Action. Listen, avoidance is all about anxiety. Anxiety wants you to stay in your head about it. Anxiety wants you to go into the what ifs. Anxiety wants you to worry incessantly about something that hasn't even happened yet. The antidote? Action. Get into the action. Quit waiting for the motivation. Just start. Another way to overcome avoidance is to make lists. Except, excuse me, I recommend that your lists aren't just lists of to-dos. Because here's the problem with to-do lists. In and of themselves, you're likely to do the easiest thing first and put the more difficult thing off until tomorrow or maybe next week or next month or next year or maybe never. So here's what I want you to do. Make a list, but put time parameters around each certain list and give yourself a little bit of a buffer in between. So you can feel productive by the end of the day. Because what we know for sure is every time you go in and check off the to-do item that's on your list that has time parameters around it, dopamine surge. Dopamine feels good. We get it with sugar, chocolate. So dopamine's good. The brain likes it. You know what I'm talking about. When you are accomplishing something, you can go check, check, done. Works really well. The other thing I would recommend is don't give yourself 20 things to do a day. Give yourself 3. Feel like you've accomplished 3 things is better than 20 with not all of them completed. That's a bad feeling for the brain. It sets us into a cycle of self-deprecation. We don't feel like we're doing enough. I bet somebody else got all 20 things done. It's not good for us. It doesn't help us. I would like to provide a caveat for the avoidance. So sometimes there are people in our lives who are abusive to us emotionally, psychologically, unfortunately, sexually. And if this person is abusive to you and you're avoiding him or her because of that, then that is a healthy boundary. So please don't misinterpret what this video is about. If you are avoiding something that is unhealthy, then keep avoiding it. It's not good for you. So I'd like you just to consider what I've said today. This is some golden nuggets. I'm a mental health expert. I use this stuff all the time in my session time with my patients. But more importantly, just in everyday life, as a breakthrough coach, this is some good stuff for us to know, right? Because we are emotional creatures. We tend to avoid when it doesn't feel good. So I guess if you forget everything else I've said in this video, remember, uncomfortable feelings like helplessness, anger, sadness, vulnerability, etc. can't last for a long time. Eventually it goes away and you can totally take it. You've survived everything that's ever happened to you and you can survive this. I hope this is helpful to you today. If you found it helpful, please share this video. This is some good stuff, right? And please click on the subscription if you're not already subscribing to this K-Coaching channel. This is some good stuff. I hope you love this, and I would love to see your comments below. Over and out.